What's up traders, welcome to weekly forex forecast. You have seen last week was incredibly volatile. We have secured quite a few profitable trade, and if you have seen last week's forex forecast, you should have made some money. If you made money, then smash the like button. If you haven't made, also smash the like button. I definitely believe that this week you will be making money with us, so make sure you watch this week's forex forecast in full to see which direction is your favorite pair is moving. As you can see that this week I have a quite long list to give you a quick direction for this coming week so that you can have an idea about which direction is your favorite pair is moving. So before I begin, for those who are new to the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Nizam. I'm a full-time trader, author, as well as founder of Forex Trading Wizard Academy. I am Forex Wizard, the wizardry including live analysis, live trade setup, strategies, and educational content that you will find in this channel will change the way you trade completely. So make sure you press that subscribe button, smash the like button for this video, and also press that bell notification so that you don't miss out any of this content that are released every single day. Also follow me on Instagram, forex.wizard2021. With that being said, let's start with Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar will have a high impact news release early next week, so will be very volatile. So let's begin with Aussie dollar. Now we will be seeing only the weekly time frame, as this is a weekly forex forecast. Now Aussie dollar, what you saw that quite a few week back to back went to the upside, almost after 6 week up rise. We saw last week a drop from here, and that is what I explained in my previous week's forex forecast. If you haven't watched that, you can watch the previous weeks, will give you some confidence. So now as you can see that this current week Aussie dollar, the previous week the price went up to this level of resistance. In the past, this level acted as a trend line and strong resistance. The price just rejected from this resistance. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price to go up along this neckline and then to drop again, because this is a long-term bearish market and the price is likely to drop like this. So let's see daily how this price action is forming. Now daily time frame, what is like happening the previous day of the last week, what you saw, there is a bearish candle. Now from here, as you see that this is also established uptrending market on the daily time frame, overall downtrend, but locally it is still in an uptrend. So an uptrend will not be ended in one day, so we could possibly see another push to the upside, maybe along this zone, and from here we could potentially see a drop. So Aussie dollar next week early rise and then drop. So let's see AUDCAD. AUDCAD weekly. Now all the Aussie pairs is likely to drop. Like the Aussie dollar, AUDCAD also likely to drop, and you can see that AUDCAD overall bearish market, long-term bearish. Now what you see that this zone is basically completely overextended to the upside, broke this trend line completely. Okay, so this look to me, this is a fake move to the upside. So when you see a fake move to the upside, from here you could potentially see a big drop to the downside. So there is a big move to take on AUDCAD, but how this is likely to move? Definitely highly unlikely that it will directly move from here. We could see little bit of uprise, maybe along this. Let me draw this level of resistance, maybe along this level. So the level could be around say 0.9 369 or 70 along this zone, not exactly along this zone, the price is likely to go up on Aussie CAD and then likely to drop. So this is the point where we will be waiting for this price to move. So already you see the daily time frame. You can see the daily time frame. Aussie dollar has created a consolidation and head and shoulder, whatever you want to say. So there is a smooth trend line here. Now Aussie dollar next week likely to go up, test this neckline, and then from here it is likely to drop. So this is the zone hot area to sell for Aussie dollar next week, going up and then dropping from here, maybe testing this level of support as a resistance and then drop. So AUDCHF, same kind of pattern. Let's see first of all weekly what you saw. This is the overall downtrending market. You see, if we draw this trend line, smooth trend line, we can see how the trend line is formed. AUDCHF. So you see a resistance here, a resistance here. Now it formed a resistance. So weekly, we could see potentially in the next week little bit of uprise, maybe around 50% of this weekly week. That means the rejection zone. And from here, Aussie Swiss franc likely to drop. So if we draw this, let me draw this line, how the price is likely to move, go up and then down. So this is where we will be waiting for selling AUDCHF. Let's see daily how the price action is forming. Okay, so on the daily, see there is a long week daily candle here. Okay, the next couple of days the price just feel this week. This is a very, very strong now price action pattern for the shorting opportunity. Why? Because you see this long rejection has not been broken. You see daily there is a long rejection has not been broken. So in the next week the price to go up a little bit, maybe along this trend line, highly likely that from here AUDCHF is likely to drop. AUDNZD, same kind of pattern. Now first of all, see weekly. What is, you can see that weekly, as I mentioned, quite a few of my analysis, weekly time frame, there is a trend line here. Now in this trend line, back to back 2 weeks, we saw retest of this trend line as resistance, and finally we saw that buyers has given up. Now sellers taking control. As a result, this last week we saw a strong bearish candle. So now how to trade in the next coming week? The price is likely to travel around the 50% of this red body. Let's assume that the price is likely to travel, not assume, this is what is likely to happen around this zone, because there is a strong level of resistance here. So AUDNZD, the price to travel up little bit and then drop from here. So AUDNZD also bearish. Now what do you see on the daily? There is a daily already a strong bearish signal here. We see a bearish engulfer on the daily time frame. This is, you can say, hanging man or a bearish engulfer. Now from here early next week we could potentially see first of all a drop and then rise and then drop. Okay, so I'm telling again, first day or second day the price go up, drop to this level of support and then go up and then drop. So this is the situation that may happen with AUDNZD. So for the selling AUDNZD along this daily trend line, you see this trend line on the daily. Okay, let me draw it. So what is the hot zone for selling AUDNZD? This is the level around 1.0737. If the price reach there, give us a price action confirmation, then we will be looking to sell AUDNZD from this zone. Now euro dollar, let's start what's happening now. First of all, let's see weekly. Okay, euro dollar weekly, as I told you in the previous week, what did I say? After this strong bearish candle, the price went to this neckline, exactly to this level of support. Okay, acted as a resistance, and we saw the price now rejected to the downside with a doji. Now, one important aspect you need to consider that euro dollar currently staying just on a historical trend line. If you draw this weekly trend line, you saw that this is where the price quite a few times historically in 2017 from this zone we saw this big move to the upside. Now 2020 in March, the same zone where the pandemic started. Now we see another crisis between Russia and Ukraine war, and the price came to the same zone, and we could potentially see a change of trend from here. Now, not in one day, this is a long-term vision, but what is likely to happen next week is Aussie dollar to come down first little bit and then likely to go up again, test this resistance again, because you know that this is a very low level of price and the sellers could hesitate to sell below this level. So let's see daily how the price action is forming. Now daily, in the next week, the price likely to come along this zone in euro dollar, and likely to rise up at least to this level. So euro dollar next week is likely to be bullish. GBPUSD, how this price action is forming. GBPUSD weekly time frame overextended. You see this weekly market back to back 3 weeks drop. So in the next week, when you see this kind of candle on the weekly, lonely candle, you know, there is nothing on the left side except this price reached in almost 2 years ago in November 2020. Now the price came to the same level, and from here we could potentially see a reaction to the upside. Overall, this is a downtrend, okay, but now the market is overextended and we could potentially see an uprise with GBPUSD. Let's see what kind of daily price action. Now this is the daily price action. Okay, so in the new trading week, if we see on the first 4 hour time frame a candle that doesn't have any wick here, okay, so let's say 4 hour candle, no wick at the bottom like this, a bullish candle with almost 0 wick at the bottom and a wick at the top. This is the high probability trade setup, and that is what we will be doing. If we see that first 4 hour of trading week, a wickless candle here on the 4 hour time frame, we will be considering going long with GBPUSD, likely to be bullish. GBPNZD, okay, the same situation. You see that weekly, first of all, this is an excessively overextended market. Starting from here, back to back, all the weeks the price dropped to this level of support. Now you see that this is a very long term historical trend line. 2018 the price came to this trend line, went up, then 2019 same level, went up, then 2021 the price came to the same level, 2021 same level, now 2022 the price in the same level, and same thing likely to happen. What is happened in the past is likely to happen again. That is the law of trading. So what does all this mean? Let's see daily. Now daily time frame, we see that there is a rejection here, and the last day of trading week and back to back quite a few days the price couldn't break this level, sign that the price is likely to reverse from here. So GBPNZD bullish next week. Let's see USDCAD, how the price action is forming. First of all, weekly, as this is a weekly forex forecast. So USDCAD, we saw that the last week of the trading, the price has created a shooting star types of candle. But what you see, the price basically is consolidating in this weekly time frame, and at the same time we need to keep in mind this week the price went up, and we see a possible head and shoulder on the weekly time frame. So we could potentially slowly, this USDCAD market could be trying to become a bearish market. Let's see daily how the price action is forming. Now daily, now USDCAD is in a very choppy market. You can see that up and down like that, but what is likely to happen in the next week? Let me explain. So the price is likely to go up and then drop. Why? Because you see this weekly candle. When you see this kind of candle, what you can expect, next one to go around 50% of this weekly week. This is the week of the candle, not the week. So week of the candle around 50% and then likely to drop. So daily, what is this is the level of resistance here on the daily. Let me draw it. So we see a resistance here, and the price in the next week, we are expecting the price to go up here and then likely to drop to create maybe along this line to come along this trend line of this daily time frame. So this is the situation that USDCAD is likely to do, because you see there is a consolidation here and that level has not been tested by USDCAD. So this is the situation is likely to happen with USDCAD next week. So USDCAD bearish. Now let's see USDCNHs. What is happening now? USDCNHs is highly bearish next week. Let's see what kind of price action weekly. Now this is a long-term bearish market. This is the weekly chart. What you saw that after this big move downside, the price consolidated in this fashion, tried to broke again came back to the range. So this is likely a bearish market. When you see this pattern, you can expect finally to break a big move to the downside. So this is the same situation with the USDCNHs. After the weekly broke, again come back price to this trend line. This is the weekly trend line, and from here we can expect another push to the downside, as this is a long-term bearish market. Let's see daily. Now daily, we saw that there is a big candle hit this resistance. So this is something you need to keep in mind. When you see a big candle hitting a level of resistance, you can expect a reversal. So USDCNHs next week likely to drop from this level of resistance on the lower time frame. You see on the 4 hour there is already a doji candle. Now this doji candle can give you a trade signal next week. Now let's see, if we see that next week the price couldn't break this doji, then we'll considering going short from here, because this is a fake move. Looks like a fake move, not a guaranteed. It's look like a fake move, and from here we can expect USDCNHs to drop. Let's see USDZR. Weekly, what kind of price action it is creating. So weekly time frame, USDZR has created a bearish candle, but at the same time you need to keep in mind that USDCAD in a level of support. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price to go up again, test this trend line, and then dropping from here. Let's see daily. Now daily will give you a clear direction. So what's happening on the daily? You see that the price broke this level of support. Let me draw it. So the price broke this level, daily strong level of support. You see there is a support here, support here, support here, support here, broke with this red candle. Now it is creating dojis. Now next week the price to from here to go up, test this trend line. You see this is the trend line. The price moves in that way. The price always move with channel, with trend line. So USDZR likely to go up, test this trend line, and then drop back to this level of support here. Okay, so this is where the hot zone to sell USDZR. Let me draw the circle so that you can see it. So this is the situation that is likely to happen. If the price goes up there, then we will be considering going short with our students. So let's see USOIL, how the price action is forming. Now USOIL, it's crazy now. You see that it is highly volatile. Let's see weekly. Now after the previous week's strong move, another push to the upside and then return back. So USOIL and again ready for another bullish move. Let me draw this trend line on the weekly, so which is a trend line is formed. Now next week, what is likely to happen? USOIL to come down little bit, around 50% of this weekly week, and then rise up again. So let's see daily how it is looking like. Now this is the situation with the daily. Now daily already you see a bullish move started. Why? You see you see with this long wick, there is a wick here, you see rejection zone, and back to back 2 daily candle couldn't break this low. That is the sign that the buyers again found support in this level. And there is also a gap opening, as you see that this is the trend line, and this is where we will be buying US oil. We could put a pending order around the 50% of this daily green candle along this zone. So the price could be around, say, 106.98. Stop loss will be below this low, maybe around 103.33. Take profit at least to this zone, because we might see, from this zone we could see another, returning back, because the price is overextended and it could be a very, very strong move. So we could see a rise up and fall down. So entering the trade here, closing the trade here. Next week US oil likely to be bullish. Now let's see GBP AUD. Now, like all the pairs with GBP is likely to be bullish, as we have seen that Aussie dollar is bearish, GBP is bullish, so GBP AUD is highly likely to be bullish. Now let's see further confirmation on the weekly. Now weekly, as I told you, this is an overextended market. GBP is now overextended, the things slowly settling down, so we could see a push to the upside. Remember, trading is all about probability. At any point, due to crisis around the world, at any point it could drop, so make sure you manage your risk. But GBP AUD overall is in an uptrend. You see this is an uptrending market, and the price, you see that there is a trend line here which has broken, and the price is completely overextended. Even if we take a Fibonacci level on the weekly time frame, what you should see that even if it goes up to 38.2 Fibonacci retracement, we can see a bigger move push to the upside for GBP AUD. Daily, how the price action is forming, same thing. You see the last day of trading week, we saw a bullish candle, guarded by this long wick, and from here we can see GBP AUD little bit retracement and push to the upside, so creating this kind of pattern. So next week GBP AUD to be bullish. GBP JPY, what kind of? Now GBP pairs, as I told you, is bullish. JPY is also weaker. Dollar is very, very stronger. Now GBP JPY, first of all, weekly. Okay, so weekly looks like bearish, but daily, what you saw, GBP JPY has created a bullish engulfer. This is a very, very strong bullish engulfer. So it is an overall uptrending market. You see that GBP JPY, this is overall uptrending market and likely to be bullish in this zone. But let's see weekly again. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price to come down little bit and then to go up again. So all the GBP pairs next week to be bullish. Let's see NZDUSD. Now NZD is bearish again. Let's see weekly. What you saw that this is overall a bearish market. You see this is a long-term bearish market. In this way it is falling. So we see last week after the back-to-back quite a few uprise, we saw an inverted bearish candle. You can say this is a pin bar, hammer, whatever I want to say, but this is a bearish candle. Tested this level of support as resistance, broke all this resistance and then closed back below. So what is likely to happen with NZD? Next week the price to go up little bit early and then to drop. So this is the situation could happen on the NZDUSD daily time frame. Now as I told you, like Aussie dollar, NZD also was in a strong bullish move. So what is likely to happen next week? The price to go up again little bit, maybe along this zone, creating a consolidation pattern and then to drop, because this is a long-term bearish market. So NZDUSD early move and then drop. So Euro AUD, what kind of price action it is creating. Euro AUD like GBP AUD, Euro also AUD also likely to be bullish next week after this big move to the downside. Let's see weekly. Okay, so Euro AUD next week, first of all, the price will move down and then will move up. So the first will move down and then will move up. So this is the situation with Euro AUD. Let's see daily how the price action is forming. You see the last day we saw, there is a long wick at the top, small body at the bottom. So on the opening of the new trading week, the price first likely to drop and then to rise up at least certain level for a retracement, so which is a significant move on the daily time frame. Euro GBP, let's see now. Euro GBP long-term bearish market. Let's see weekly. You see this is a strongly bearish market, no question about it. It's a long-term downtrending market. So last week we saw the price rose up, hunted all this stop loss from here and then dropped. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price again took up little bit, around 50% of this long week, and then to drop from here. Okay, so let's see daily how the price action is forming. Now this is the zone, as you can see, daily time frame, daily close here. The price likely to go along this doji on the daily time frame and then to drop. So this is where the hot zone to sell Euro GBP, which is around, let's say, 0.8400, stop loss above this 0.8440, and then to drop whatever it could create a new lower low, or at least to this level, which could give a decent risk to reward ratio. Now DXY, let's see how the price action is formed. Okay, DXY is, let's see first of all weekly. Okay, now next week DXY likely to be bearish. You see the back to back quite a few weeks DXY went up. Now this is now completely alone. This price is not guarded by any other candle. So what is likely to happen with the DXY next week? The price to go up little bit and then to drop at certain point, at least to this level of support, or maybe along this trend line. So could give us a significant trading opportunity. Let's see daily. So this is the situation with the DXY. As you see that the price is in the top, and from here we could see a little bit uprise with the DXY and then dropping at least to this gap level, which can give us a strong support. So DXY next week to be bearish. Now what is next? Okay, so USD Mexican peso, what trading, you can see how this is forming. Now USD Mexican peso, after the rejection on the weekly, we see a strong rejection. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price first of all go up around 50% of this week and then likely to drop. So Mexican peso, let's see daily. Now this is the situation with the daily. You saw back to back 2 daily doji here. So the price to break this doji and then to drop to this level of support. So this is the situation with the USD Mexican peso. Let's see finally what else. Gold. Now this is the hot one, so stay tuned, watch till the end what is happening with the gold. Let's see first of all weekly. Okay, so weekly, what you saw that gold has created a shooting star in this zone. What you saw that gold formed this candle. Last day of the trading week I post an analysis about the gold, and exactly it is, you can watch that analysis what the gold did. Now what is happened on the gold? See, there is a strong level of support here. Let me draw it. Okay, so weekly a shooting star on gold. Now this is a good opportunity for now, for the next week to buy. But what is likely to happen next week? Let me tell you. So at this point gold already, you see that the monthly resistance rejected from this monthly resistance, and we see that there is a long-term trend line here with the gold. You see, this is the long-term trend line. You see there is a resistance here, and then resistance here. Okay, so from here gold is likely to test this resistance as a support. But now what is to happen? You see that the price closed above this support, and we can see another reaction to the upside and then finally drop. So let's see daily how it looks like. Okay, so this is the level of support on the daily. So in the new trading week, we see already back-to-back two dojis on the daily time frame. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price first drop to this level of support, as you see that this is the weekly support, and then go up along the zone, and then finally coming down to test this level of resistance. So gold will slowly consolidate and decelerate for a downward movement. So let's see on the 4 hour how it looks like. Okay, so 4 hour, if you see that the price already created this, the price came here and then went up again. So in the next week, the price likely to come here again. Okay, on the 4 hour, complete an inverted head and shoulder in this level of support, and then the price to go up to test this maybe along this line. You see there is a consolidation and double top here, and then the price dropped. So when you see a double top like this price drop, you can expect the price go up again, test this support as a resistance, and then drop. So with that being said, gold is likely to go up, test this level of support as a resistance, and then finally drop. So what is expected on the gold is to create an inverted head and shoulder, and if the gold manage to come here, okay, we will place a pending order, either it comes or no. We'll place a pending order in this zone, and then we'll keep our stop loss below this low, and then we'll target at least 1, 2, 3 or 5 risk to reward ratio with our students. So this is the situation with the gold. Now let's see with BTCUSD and Ethereum USD. Now BTCUSD, let's see how the price action is forming. Okay, so weekly, as I told you that BTCUSD is dropping. You see the price every time BTCUSD, the way I analyzed all the time, it came true. Now at this point, last week we saw a long week candle at the top. The current week we see the buyers are very weak. You see the price couldn't break the previous week's high, and this is basically a consolidation and deceleration pattern. What you saw, you see this. Let me show you the drawing. So what is happening is the price drop and then creating this kind of pattern. This is a bearish pattern. When you see this kind of pattern, you can expect the price to drop again to the downside. With that being said, BTCUSD is likely to slowly melt to the downside on the weekly, daily. How the price action is forming, it's now very low volume as well. You see the low volatility because now the currency pairs gold are volatile and people are hesitant to buy crypto in this uncertain situation. And if you see the daily top, you see the price is decelerating. You see every time the price is creating a lower high, and finally we could see BTCUSD is falling. So this is the situation with BTCUSD. Let's see Ethereum USD, same kind of pattern, just Ethereum is sharper than BTCUSD. You see that the price is creating a deceleration pattern on the daily time frame. Now let's see weekly how the price action is forming. Now this is a strongly bearish price action. You see every week the price is creating a lower high, and slowly we could see melting to the downside with Ethereum USD. As we have seen daily as well, this is a long-term bearish market. So this is the situation with Ethereum USD. The price is slowly likely to drop to the downside. So let's see US 30 or Dow Jones and US 500. Now if you have seen my previous week's analysis, what did I say when the price was here? We could see a gap opening and the price likely to drop, and exactly what it is. If you have seen this analysis, then smash the like button. Now at this point, let's see weekly. You see the price has done almost the same way it is. Now what is likely to happen in the next week? The price is likely to go in a sideways. Okay, it is likely to go in a sideways on the weekly. Daily we could have some possible trading opportunity. Now last week of trading week, we saw the price tested this, this moving average and closed here. So what is likely to happen? If, as you have seen, that weekly there could be sideways, but on the lower time frame we will have trading opportunity. So we could see another push to the upside, along the 50% of this long week, and then likely to drop along this zone. So what is the hot zone for selling? Why? Because this is now currently in a downtrend. So the hot zone for US30 to sell is from this zone is around 33.57 or 56. So this is the zone that we will be waiting for selling with our student. So US30 and US 500. What is happening? The same pattern with US30. You can see that the price decelerated from here, opened with a gap last week, and the price tested this gap, and then we saw a break to the downside. So what is likely to happen in the next week? The price to go up little bit around the 50% of this week, and from here we could potentially see a drop to the downside, and we will be waiting for this drop to the downside. So early next week the price go up and then drop. So this is the situation with all these pairs. I tried to give you quickly an overview of most of the pairs, and every single day I do live trading session, live analysis strategies. So don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget like and also leave a comment below this video to help this video to be visible to more people, to support this channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon in my next video.